right. Hello. I'm going to attempt to make a short video. I want to share I'm going to share a link regarding this demon face syndrome that is being reported. Give me 1 second just to set this up. I want to make sure this will work. Strange news. All right, I'm going to try to play just the audio here, and then I'll try to get it to I'll try to get it back. It doesn't sound like it's working, so I'm going to get off this live and do it, or get off this. I was hoping it would pick up the audio, but it did not. So.
Your vision is totally normal, and then one day you see demonic features everywhere on people only, just like this, what you see behind me. Now, that's a reality for a man named Victor Shera. He has extremely rare yet terrifying disorder called PMO, and it's commonly known as, or now known because people didn't know about it at first. It's called the demon face syndrome. People with the condition see parts of other people's faces distorted in shape, texture, position, or color. For Shera, that means grotesque, grimace, elongated eyes, and deeply etched scars. Also, pointed ears. There are 75 known cases of the disorder. My next guest, well, we talk about it, and he is kind of skeptical, but he says there's some proof. And joining us now here on The Factor Uncensored, we have with us Dr. Nick Hardy. Dr. Nick, I'm always looking for the weird and the different, and I think I found it today. And this condition, we're told, is called demon face syndrome. Now, it's when an individual sees someone and their face seems distorted, almost satanic, demon-like. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
I haven't. And to your point, when I saw that only 75 cases have been reported, I said, ooh, we really looked high and low to find this one. But I have not heard of this one before. Doesn't mean that it's not not valid. Doesn't mean that it's not real. I just haven't heard it. This is the first time that I've heard about this disorder.
And 75 cases in a world of billions of people. That's pretty low, right?
It is. It's extremely low. And truthfully, I need to look and see what the threshold is for it even comes up on people's radar, at least from a medical perspective. But I'll say this, they say 75 reported. That means that there could be more people, but just out of fear of, embarrassment or what does this look like? What do people think? I mean, am I crazy? Did I, eat something bad? Is this temporary? I mean, just all the thoughts and feelings that come along with, this big.
How are they describing this so-called demon face syndrome? What is it exactly from what you've been able to ascertain?
Yeah, so what I've seen is basically this is a disorder that when people look at others, there's this
24 hours old
that creates a demon-like figure. And so,
They're
some of
to
their eyes may kind of spread out.
population.
There may be distortions on their skin. And this only happens when they're
going to
looking
see the
at
truth.
people. I don't think that they said that they saw the same imagery when they looked at a sheet of paper. And so it's happening in real time, according to some of these reports.
Real
And I
time.
think they examined and they used in one of the case studies a Tennessee truck driver who said he began seeing people's faces and they looked like demons back in 2020. And the term schizophrenia has been tossed around.
No.
Where does that fit in?
It doesn't fit in here because in this situation, this is just visual distortion, whereas with schizophrenia, a lot of times people have delusional thoughts and beliefs. And so they may see it, but then there's a narrative that goes along with it that, creates a story around what could be happening, some hallucination.
They're going to blame the television.
I just seeing things that don't look normal. So totally different than schizophrenia.
Preparing us to see the demons in real time.
It's kind of like I don't even know what to do with this, but I'm so interested
they have to tell us
in it if people are actually seeing others who look like demons just visually. Because that could lead to some mental issues. If you think people are demons around you,
call it
that
condition.
would affect your
they want to
brain.
call it a condition.
Oh, 100%. I mean, even just how you respond to someone that is your roommate versus a demon that's coming in your room.
Right.
Totally different. But I'll say this, when I was reading about this, one of the things that I do think from a mental health perspective that we have to be careful of is even labeling it demon could keep people away who could be suffering from this disorder. And I think this has been the case with a lot of mental health disorders over the history
how did we go from
what we have come to learn about mental health.
The
We used to call it mental retardation, all of these derogatory terms that we're fighting some of those stigmas now,
or
just in the
some
mental space. So I think even though it's early, not a lot of people have it, we still have to be careful how we describe it.
Do you put a lot of credibility in it, though? Do you think they know what they're talking about? Not the people, but those who may be studying the people, who may be buying into this.
Yeah, I do put some credibility into it. I mean, because when I looked at the study, there was some merit in how they went about kind of verifying this. But I will say initially, I was like, oh, here we go again. We just making up stuff now. But it came from a credible source, and that they did name that, hey, this is still very early, only 75 cases reported. And so it's not common. I think there's probably more research and more studies that need to be done. But I think if there's a immediate influx of people who say now that they have this disorder, I think that it could raise some questions or some concerns about the validity of everything. So we'll see.
Absolutely. We will see, Dr. Nick Hardy. Thank you for joining me and indulging me in my weirdness.
These people are...
And don't forget, you can watch Isaiah Factor Uncensored along with other great shows on Fox Soul and the Fox Local app. Just check out
that they can say they're experts all of a sudden, but yet there's been really no talk of this syndrome before. There's also this was put out also 24 hours ago from the Lancet channel. 1 day ago, visualizing facial distortions in in prosopometamorphopsia. That's a tough one. I'm going to let them tell you. But listen to this one.
Hi, my name is Antonio Mello, and I'm a PhD student at Dartmouth College. And I'd like to present the case of a 58-year-old man who reported seeing people's faces as distorted for the past 3 years. Every face he encountered in daily life appeared, in his words, demonic, with severely stretched facial features and deep grooves on different parts of the face. However, he did not perceive distortions on other objects or on faces on screens or on paper. Our initial assessment did not reveal obvious signs of cognitive or visual impairments. T1 and T2 MRI scans showed a round lesion measuring about 1 centimeter in the left hippocampus. The impression here was of an arachnoid cyst, but it's unclear if this cyst contributes to the distortions, since the hippocampus is not part of the face processing network. In previous studies, it has not been possible for patients to accurately judge if an illustration of their distortions matches what they see, because the illustration itself also depicts a face, so the patients will see distortions on it too. However, as I mentioned before, this patient does not see distortions on faces presented on screens. This unusual feature provided us with an opportunity to visualize what he sees using the following procedure. First, we took a photo of a person's face in a closed room. Then we projected this photo on a computer screen and asked the person to stay in the room. Next, the patient entered the room and we asked him to look at the face of the person in front of him and compare it to the photo on the screen. As he alternated between observing the face in front of him and that same face on the screen, he provided real-time feedback on their differences, which we used to modify the photo until it matched his perception. As you can see in the visualizations, the eyes, nose, mouth, and ears are severely stretched, and deep grooves affect the forehead, cheeks, and chin. These distortions follow the face through different points of view and are remarkably consistent across different identities, affecting the same facial features regardless of the face he sees. This is a case of prosopometamorphopsia, or PMO, a rare neurological disorder of visual perception in which faces appear distorted while other visual categories often do not. We believe that visualizations of face distortions are critical to understanding PMO. They not only demonstrate the severity of this condition, but also emphasize the need for effective treatments. This case allows us to glimpse the world through the eyes of someone with PMO for the first time.
Yeah, so I'll link both of those videos down in the description box so that you can view them without all the hand shaking and whatnot. I'll try to edit the video after I post it and cut some of the dead time out. But crazy story. And remember, both of those stories just came out yesterday. So take it for what you will. Demon faces. They want to make it your fault that you're seeing them. Not that they're real, but that you think you're seeing something, which is a syndrome now all of a sudden just popped up, case from 2020. And now it's all of a sudden being discussed right before we have a lot of things upcoming, big events, eclipses, lunar eclipses, just there's a lot going on in the world. Hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. And, if this kind of content interests you, check it out. I have some links in my channel that basically you can go and check out some of the playlists and the channels that I share there to get more in-depth reporting and research on these topics. Until later on, I will see you all later. Take care.